What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and this is your Bling Empire episode 6 review. We are making our way through the series with 2 more episodes for both Bridgerton and Bling Empire. Just want to let you guys know it has been so delightful to be able to give you guys these reviews, and I'm glad that you guys are watching them. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Let the diva know you stopped by, and let's get into the review. So we start off at Anna Shea's house in Beverly Hills, honey. And did you guys know that Anna Shea just recently, I don't know when, remember Dr. Phil's house was being put up for sale and you saw the inside of it and it was real gaudy and real like just over the top. Turns out that Anna Shea ended up buying his house. That's the reports that I saw. So just a little trivia. Anyways, they're preparing for yoga. They do not have any yoga mats. They have towels on the floor. It looked like hand towels on the floor. um, so this is the yoga teacher comes in. I put stripper on here. He absolutely did not look like a yoga teacher. Maybe he teaches yoga at the local gym or something, but he did not look like a yoga teacher at all. Anyways, Christine shows up dressed up, okay? She thought she was coming over Anna's house for drinks. Anna done tricked her once again. Honey, Anna gets Christine all of the time. She comes in. She was like, I thought we was coming for cocktails, honey. She ends up changing. She has on these gold knee-high boots. They end up, doing the yoga, and Anna Shea is basically there to embarrass Christine. Anna says there are consequences. You know, the way Anna talks, there are consequences. I put not a yoga instructor. He took his shirt off. I started to get secondhand embarrassment. He picked up Christine, which I would have been like, put me down. Don't pick me up unless I ask you to pick me up. I don't like that. I'm always cringy when like a stripper type dude picks up a woman. It's so gross to me. I'm like, oh, put her down, put her down, put her down. Anyways, and so Christine says, you know what? The thing is with, social warfare is never let them see you sweat. So I'm not going to let her see me sweat in her dirty haunted house. I said, baby, they get each other. Anyway, so we cut to Kevin, and he's in there chanting, and Kane shows up. Kevin answers the door in his underwear. He was like, "You answered the door like this?" He was like, "You come into my house. You're at my house. This is my house." And he was like, "I was just doing some chanting." He was like, "In your underwear?" And Kane was like, "No, no, no. That's disrespectful. You cannot do that. It's like, would you go greet your mother in your underwear?" He was like, "You can't do that. It's disrespectful." So anyways, Kevin shares that he got a letter from the adoption place, and the adoption place just basically told him that there's no specific information that they can give them when it's an international delivery. And they have him classified as an abandoned child. Kane looks very interested, and he asked him, he was like, "Do you want to find your parents?" And then he was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Go to Korea." So hopefully season 2, maybe they go to Korea, but we're in all this mess, so I don't know how that would turn out. But anyways, he says he just wants to know what was the reason, why was he given away. He just wants to understand, what happened. We're back at Cherie and Jesse's house, and Kane comes over, and he asked her about her ring, that big ass ring that she had on. He asked her about it, and she was like, "No." He was like, "I thought Jesse proposed." She was like, "No, he ain't proposed, child. He just bought me this big ass promise ring." Somebody has on a little tiny ring. It's somebody on a reality show who has on a tiny little ring, and I can't remember who it is. And I have to go find it. I'll remember. I'll let y'all know if I remember. Anyway, so there's a picture of Cherie's mom on the mantle, and her mom had just passed away, and they call her Popo. That means grandma in Cantonese. And she's like cleaning her stuff out, and she's like, "I don't know what to get rid of." And that happens for a lot of people in death. It's hard to figure out what to keep, and you don't want to keep everything, but there's a memory attached to this, a memory attached to this. And Kane just reminds her it's best to just let things go and get 1 or 2 things that really truly remind you of your mom. But it's a best practice in Buddhism to just let things go that no longer serve you and serve no function. Beautiful. You know, in my studies of Buddhism, a lot of the ways that I kind of walk through life, because it's more of a lifestyle rather than a religion. It's not so much, it's just more how you live your life. And so a lot of when I studied, I took a lot of tenets from Buddhism and applied them to my life as well. So, and a part of that is letting go of things that no longer serve you. I think it's a great way to live. And she goes, I just want to know if she's still here with me. She's really worried about her mom being present in you know, at spiritually around her. And she's really concerned about that. And he says, just all you got to do is honor your mom, honor, you know, and honor her by being a good mother. That's his other. I love Kane. Kane gives great advice. He's silly. He's wealthy. He's down to earth. All of that stuff. I really like Kane. I like what he's showing us. Anyways, so we show Kelly. Andrew is over Kelly's house drinking wine, and they're awkwardly flirting with each other, telling each other corny jokes. He sits on the couch with his practiced facial expressions, and he's like, I'm flirting with you. And she was like, I mean, I could tell that we're attracted to each other. It was weird because the dog, Kilo, was playing with the ball, and then Andrew goes, you're my ball. And she was like, okay. He's really corny. Um, she tells him, he was like, do you see a future with us? And she tells him, we can't go back. You have anger issues. Your issues transfer over. You got to get your anger issues fixed. Another person can't be a punching bag, meaning her. You cannot go in there and beat her up for things that you have unhealed in your childhood. And then she goes, do you need a hug? And then they start kissing, and then they go into the back room, and you know they was probably back there fucking. Now, I'm not going to judge Kelly because I know what it's like. Folks know what it's like to go back to, you know, every now and then you got to go back. It's familiar, the familiar, comfortable dick. You go back to it, you know, to get your feels off, and then you know, because it's familiar. So it happens, but this is abusive, and we don't want it to be happening. So she gonna do what she want to do. Anyway, at Cherie meets with Tyler Henry, Hollywood medium. You know, he had a show on E. He looks so much older now. I haven't seen him in such a long time. He is truly gifted medium. And he says he's going to talk to her about some facts and some specific details. And he goes, do you have a personal item? So she hands him a monkey, and she starts to explain. He was like, no, 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 don't explain nothing to me. Allow it to just come through. So he's sitting there, and he's, you know, he actually scribes. So he uses that as a way to communicate, and it comes through him. I think it's absolutely beautiful to watch him actually work. He's so gifted. I get emotional talking about it because he's so gifted. So everything he's telling her is accurate. He gives her clues to let her know that her mother is there. And she keeps asking him, when will I see her again? He was like, you're going to see her. She's going to be around you. And then he goes, it's going to come through maybe somebody, your daughter might see her, but that's how you're going to know she's around. And it just seemed like she wanted more, like she needs some real closure. And he just told her, your daughter will see her. And she's like, okay, okay. So the next day they're at the beach. Christine buys them gifts. I don't know if I shared it on Twitter, but Christine over the weekend, some members of the cast of Bling Empire, it looked like the majority of them were on some yacht somewhere, and Christine had brought gifts, and they were all in Cartier bags. This was just this past weekend. So this is why I love this group, is because they are truly friends. When the cameras are down, they still hang out with each other. Like these other shows that we watch, the women, the cameras are down, the women don't hang out with each other at all. They're not friends. It's so weird how invested we are in these shows and watching people interact with each other who don't like each other. It's weird. But she gets them all these personalized towels, and the lettering is gold. And Kane kept asking, "Is it real gold? Is it real gold, honey?" It might have been, child. Anyway, so Jamie says she doesn't really like the beach, but she needs to take some pictures for Instagram. So they're taking pictures. And then Kane goes, I don't know. Jamie is usually on point. I don't know if her stylist is sick or she fired the stylist or what, but who the hell wears a turtleneck to the beach? She has on a turtleneck. She's taking pictures. Then Kevin and Kelly go off to talk, right? Because they had gone on that date previously. And she starts talking about Andrew. And she's like, yeah, we saw each other. And he was like, did you keep it clean? And she was like, um, yeah, yeah. And he's like, and then even Kevin in his interview, he goes, that's like a relationship that you have to completely sever. You got to cut it all the way off. There's no going back and being friends and trying to be friends. I know I said that on the previous review that that's a relationship you do have to cut off. If they want to be friends, they're going to have to spend some time apart first and then see if they can come back as friends. But he just says it has to end, and I agree with that. And she was like, it's hard because when I see him, I want to hug him and I want to touch him and I want to kiss him. And then Kevin goes, did you? And she's like, then they show like a flashback of them making out on the couch last night. And she was like, no. So that's when you know it's like hiding alcoholism. It really is. It's like, no, I wasn't drinking. No, I wasn't fucking my ex-boyfriend. You were. And when you start lying about what is happening in your reality, there's a problem. There is a problem. And she's like, I know it's hard. I shouldn't lie to my friends, but I just want to live my life. Honey, if you don't take care of yourself, there are so many women who have that story and they're like, I just want to live my life. And they end up without one. So I don't know if Andrew, I don't put anything past anyone. I think anyone is capable of anything. And it's just what it is. I think you should get away from him. And it says, so she tells Kevin that I think it's better that you and I stay friends. And you're more like a brother to me. So he's been friend zoned and he didn't think he would get friend zoned. And he seems a little embarrassed that he, at the end of the scene, he takes off his pants and runs into the ocean. And somebody was like, Kevin, don't do that. This is a public beach. Especially in California, honey. You gotta be Southern California, you gotta be protected. I wouldn't get in that damn water. Anyways, unless it's down the coast. But anyways, back at Cherie's house, her and Jador are, doing stuff around the house. Jador is in the room playing with Javon. Javon's in the crib, and she's calling Javon Popo, right? And then you could hear Cherie like, Jador, where are you? And Jador's in the room, like looking in the crib, looking at Popo, right? This is Javon in the bed though, right? And then she goes, Popo, talk to me. Popo, talk to me. She was so cute. So cute. And she was like, what are you talking about? And her daughter was literally calling the little boy Popo and saying that's Popo. That's Popo. And she was like, what do you mean? Javon is Popo? You're talking to Popo? And she was like, do you think Javon could be my mom? I don't know. And she was like, Popo, talk to me. It was so cute. And so, in Buddhism, they believe in reincarnation. And so she said when her mother was sick that she told her mom if she wanted to come back as her son, then she could. And her mother said, okay. So now Cherie is thinking, now that her daughter is looking down in this crib, she's like, Popo. And Kane lets us know that when you have children, it's one of your ancestors who is coming back as your child. And so Kane comes over and she explains what happened with Jador and Javon and how Jador was just calling Javon Popo. I love that their names are Jador and Javon. I fucking love that shit. I love it. And he was like, yeah, it's true. I believe that. And Kane says in his interview, I must have been really good in my past life because I'm so blessed and fortunate in this life. I must have been a good person. But if you're sex driven like Kevin, you might come back as a pigeon. And he explains to her, kids see things. They have their third eye open. They don't have the layers of, bad experiences and societal conditioning to kind of taint them. So they do have an ability to see things. And as you get older, those kind of things kind of strip away as you start experiencing the life. And so he's like, it's very possible that Javon is your mom. And so he was like, let me hold Javon. So he's holding Javon. He's like, see, he didn't cry with me. He didn't cry with me. That means that I'm a good spirit and that, I'm a good person, because when a baby cries, that you got to be careful. And then all of a sudden, Javon uses the bathroom, and Kana's like, I gotta put him down. I gotta put him down here. So the nanny takes Javon. She was like, Cherie's like, just change him. You want to change him? You want to change? He was like, no, I don't want to see your mom's penis. Baby, I said Kane. Kane is stupid, because later Cherie goes to Jesse. Maybe I should stop breastfeeding, because that's kind of weird that my mom is sucking on my breast. I said, y'all are crazy. They are so crazy. So Kevin goes to a hypnotherapist, and she explains to him not to judge his memory. She's going to take him back and walk him through this visualization. And he does a lot of crying. He's letting a lot of things out. She takes him all the way back into right before his mother gave birth, while she was pregnant. And he just says that he feels like his mother was scared and that she didn't want him. And he did a lot of crying. It was very emotional. I actually was crying during the scene too, because it's very emotional. I actually would love to do hypnotherapy and do like a past life regression. I think that's why I love this show too, because it's showing like they have spirituality, but they're showing all of these things like a medium, you know what I'm saying, doing hypnotherapy. I love it. I'm here for all of it. Cherie calls Jesse, and he's taking a nap. He's out of town on a business meeting or whatever. And she goes, do you think Javon is my mom? And he was like, I don't think so. I hope not. And he was like, call me back. And that's what she said. I'm breastfeeding Javon. I don't know if I should be breastfeeding now, because what if he's my mom and, I'm. He was like, can you call me back? I'm asleep, because I feel like I'm dreaming. Anyway, she hangs up from him. Kevin and Kim's mother go out, and Kim's mother says, you look just like my son. And they did a side by side, and they do favor each other. Their eyes are different, but their hairstyle and kind of like the shape of their head, and they look like that maybe they might be the same build. And he was like, but that's probably why she treats me like that. She was like, yeah, because I pick on my brother a lot. That's probably why they have that little relationship. Might be why. So he explains to Kim and her mother that he doesn't, about his hypnotherapy appointment. And he also explains that maybe his mom wanted to give him away because he's 80% Korean and 20% Japanese. And, the Koreans and Japanese did not get along because of the colonization of Korea. And he says he just felt after that meeting, after that appointment, that he felt lighter. He also said that he didn't feel the urgency to try and go find his parents, and that he felt a sense of closure. So we love that. The mother was crying. Kim was emotional. And the mother explains in karma, when you do good things, she says, I teach my children karma. And see, the way that a lot of the westernized ideologies behind karma is that it's a punishment system. And if you listen to Kimmy's mother, she was like, I teach my children, if you do good, good will come back to you. And I think when you approach it that way, it's more liberating than feeling like karma is if you do bad, bad will happen to you. It's a way to frame it like, do good and good is going to come to you. And that's just how it works. Then they make a joke at the end of the scene. And he was like, I love your mother. I love your mother. Can I call her when I need something? And then Kim goes, love you long time. Right now, that is a joke that has been made a joke. It's a scene from Full Metal Jacket where there is an Asian prostitute in the scene, and she's offering her services, and she tells him, I love you long time. Later, Two Live Crew used it in Me So Horny song. So that's not a joke that I can tell, but amongst Asian people, I'm sure that, it may not be a joke, but I can't tell that joke like that. I can't do that. So that's what happened. I'm not going to say it like she said it because it's rude. Right? Okay. Back at Cherie and Jesse's house, Jesse's sitting on the bed. Now, Jesse, I find Jesse attractive. I don't know if it's the trust fund. I don't know what it is. But I just like his style. I like his interview looks, and he had these glasses on, sitting on the bed. I really like the way that he relates to Cherie, because he explains to her, I don't think it's fair that you say that Javon is your mom. You got to allow Javon to live his own life. Know that your mother is around you, but don't put that pressure on Javon, because you will be walking through life. Because earlier, Cherie is like, I'm going to take care of you forever. You like thinking she's talking to her mother. And I think he just really gave her really good advice. He was like, that would be hard for Javon to live up to. But, and he's like, I know it's not easy. He says, I love when she's smiling and all of this stuff. I like Jesse and Cherie. I wish they would go ahead and do the thing. But they did an update on them, and they still not married, child. They still not married, child. Anyways, but that was the end of the episode, and they did a tribute to Cherie's mom, and gave her a remembrance from at the end of the episode. I love this show, y'all. Anyways, take care of each other. Tell me what you think of the episode. I don't know what's going to go on with Kelly. Like I said, her and Andrew are probably still going back and forth. That's just like a toxic situation. There are so many women who have been in situations like that can probably look at that and relate and understand how hard it is to get out of situations, bad situations, toxic situations. But you do, and eventually you get tired of the shit, and you do. I'm glad that Kevin got closure on that. I hope that they go to Korea next season. Hopefully they get a season 2. I would love for them to get a season 2. I thoroughly enjoy this show. I love rewatching the episodes in order to bring you the recaps. Again, thank you guys for watching. Let's get down in the comments. Peace. Take care of each other and take care of yourself, and protect your energy.